A true San Pedran, Tony Dobra is a 1974 graduate of San Pedro High School. Go Pirates. Then he graduated from Cal State University, Long Beach. Yes, I know. They just got rid of the prospector mascot. In 1978, Dobra began a long and illustrious career in coaching. He began his career at Mary Star. Let's go Stars. He coached multiple sports, but it was in the sport of softball that he truly thrived. From 81 to 86, he coached the Stars to 4 league championships and 6 CIF Southern Section playoff appearances. An impeccable coaching record. His 35 years of coaching high school softball yielded 735 wins and a total of 25 league crowns, 13 CIF titles, and he did really foster in the golden era of San Pedro softball, 2000 to 2009. Who can forget? I love it. The Pirates posted an astounding streak of having no season end without a berth in the CIF LA City Section Championship games, winning a staggering 9 CIF titles. One of the great coaches. His postseason honors, seemingly endless. I will read them all. 9-time CIF LA City Section Coach of the Year. 9. 5-time South Bay Daily Breeze Coach of the Year. God bless the Breeze. I believe they're here. 5-time Long Beach Press Telegram Dream Team Coach of the Year. 2-time Los Angeles Times South Bay West Side Coach of the Year. California Coaches Association High School State Coach of the Year. Finalist for Softball Coach of the Year for the National High School Coaches Association and the ESPN Cal High Sports California State Coach of the Year. The king of softball in our area. Forever, the great Tony Dobra with the Tony Award.
Pretty much I got nothing left. It says on there 2 to 3 minutes, and anybody who knows me, that's impossible. I'll make this fast. It was really nice to see Ralph. Ralph was one of my English 10 students way back when. I hadn't seen him in a while. It's good to see Ralph again. And this is going to be a thank you speech. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for many, 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 many people. I'd like to start off with the Sportswalk committee for sure. For somebody who was born and raised in San Pedro, being inducted to San Pedro Sportswalk of Fame is a truly incredible thing for me, my wife, and my family. And my sponsor, SSA Marine, I really appreciate that, Dave Stanovich, everything you had to do with that. Obviously, I have to start with my mom and dad, Sam and Jackie. They're over here today. When I was a kid, they always made sure my brother and I did well in school, encouraged our love of sports. And we both turned out to be high school teachers and coaches, and they did very well with that. And they would come to my games at San Pedro High School, just like the kids' parents would come. My parents were there. My brother Jeff, my sister-in-law Karen, my niece Carrie, Uncle Tom, Aunt Vi, they were at all those games too, cheering us on. And afterwards, my dad and my uncle would tell me what I had done wrong. My cousin Chris Huff, who actually coached with me for 2 years. My wife Pam. Anybody who's married to a coach knows that's not an easy thing to do. And without her, I could have done this. We've been together, we've been married for over 20 years. But she started coming to my games before that. And I'm not going to tell any stories other than this one. But coaches and athletes are superstitious. The very first time she came to see us play, we were playing at Bishop Montgomery. And we got no hit that day. And being a superstitious coach, I very kindly asked her not to come to any more games. And we got going. A few years later, then she started showing up. And the kids came to love her as much as they expressed their love to me too. And she loved them also. Thank you, Pam. When I was a kid, I was molded. We talked about the Boys Club last night. I played biddy basketball and Little League Hilltop baseball at the Boys Club. My coaches, Bill Stevens in basketball, Bob Lorenzi, Dennis Lane, they instilled making the sport fun and teaching us the fundamentals. And I took that with me for my 35 years of coaching. When I first started coaching CYO basketball and Little League baseball at Penn Park, Des Walker, Rick Bruce, General DeMassa, and Sandy Simic later on in San Pedro were the coaches who got me involved in this and mentored me when I first started coaching. The media, a lot of those recognitions that Petros read off, if it wasn't for the media, that wouldn't have happened. Way back in 1981, some of you have been around for a while, you remember? The News Pilot used to cover us. Jerry Crow and the News Pilot, all the way up through Tony Snigdale, Daily Breeze, Eric Sondheimer at the LA Times, the Cal High sports staff. Okay? Because of them, these kids were recognized, our teams were recognized, and I was recognized, and I appreciate that. All the coaches I ever coached against who became my friends. Coaches at Banning and Carson High School, Kathy Blankenship, Jessica Espinoza, Gary Kern, Rosie Martinez, Ed Valentina, Nabayan, Cam Warner. We became very close friends. Every year we played this local CIF Southern Section teams. Don Glavich at Torrance, Howard Miller at North Torrance, Keith Cameron, El Segundo, Tim Hall, PV. They became my friends. At San Pedro High School, I used to talk to the coaches all the time. As a coach, you never stop learning. And I had the advantage of interacting and talking to and picking the brains of Coach Jerry Lavarro, John Bobich, cross-country coach Bruce Thompson. Scorekeeper is incredibly important. I had some great ones over there. Jennifer McCoy, Laura Jo Meadows, Christina Herrera, because I'm the one who's panicking, like, who's on duck? What'd she do last time up? Who's batting third this inning? Trying to do all that stuff and have to get that answer in an instant. They don't get very much credit, but without them, all right, our program would be incomplete. The greatest of all, Jamal. I know Jamal's here. Jamal, please give me a stand up. He is the Sports Information Director of San Pedro High School. You want to know about any team? That is the man to ask. What was in the program, the slides last night, everything pertaining to me, he put that all together. He kept score for me. He called the newspapers for me. He put statistics and max preps for me. He and I are together for over 20 years. Jamal, without this, couldn't have done this last year. I really appreciate your help. Bob Schatz, I know Bob's here, the athletic director at San Pedro High School. Hardest working man at San Pedro High School. He made my job a lot easier. And he was the one out there doing, helping with the paperwork, dragging the field, chalking the field before our games. And he turned out to be a great friend. And that's one of the things doing a job like this, you get to meet some awesome people. Bob Schatz, I'd like to thank you very much. And the teachers at San Pedro High School who are my friends, who supported the teams and the girls, Kathy Carcamo, Denise Sampson. I could go on and on, but again, the school really gets behind the sports, and I appreciate that too. Almost done here. Doc, Alan Moore. Doc, put your hand up, please. Another San Pedro graduate. He and I worked together for 28 years. I would never say he was an assistant coach because that would be demeaning to him. We were co-coaches. He taught me so much about softball. We became good friends. He could talk me into things, out of things, but most of the time we were on the same wavelength. And we were able to coach a lot of kids over the years. And Doc, I love that man. When I came out of retirement last year, first phone call I made was to Doc. I said, you got to come back. We got to get the band back together. And Doc, we had quite a bit of success, but more importantly, we met some great girls and coached some great girls. But Doc, thank you very much. Almost done. As Pedro alluded to, I was a girls softball coach at Mary Storr from 1981 to 1986. My life changed in 1980. I had been coaching lower division boys sports at Mary Storr High School. We had JV baseball, freshman basketball, JV basketball. And I became a teacher in September 1980 when I went to sign my contract for $9,900. The principal asked me if I'd want to coach the girls softball team. They needed a girls softball coach. He said the stipend was $1,000. Well, being a St. Peter Croatian, I knew that was 10% of what I was making the whole year. And I told him, I said, I've never coached girls before. I'll try it for 1 year and see what happens. And that first group, man, they made it so special for me. We had some success, but they made it fun. And I was hooked. And I was there for 6 years, and we did very well. And then in 1986, I had an opportunity to go back to San Pedro High School. I coached there from 1987 to 2014, and then came back in 2018. And I'm sure you guys said he read the numbers, but I remember in 1992, we had been to the championship game in 88, 89, and we lost. In 92, we were beating Banning 2-1, last inning, 2 outs. Runner on second base, my butt's off the bench, getting ready to run on the field, and that was a jinx. The softball guys told me right then and there, no, you can't do that kind of stuff. And they got a hit. But we ended up winning in 13 innings. That was my first title. I remember walking out there, no matter what happens to me, I've got one. And I thought it's going to be the greatest thing ever. And counting that during the next 18 years, we played the championship game 15 times. We won 13 of them. And it's just a tribute to the kids. You know, I've had so many kids that have gone on and played the next level of College World Series, and they were just incredibly talented. I retired in 2014 after 34 years, and people live in town know last year, the last third of the season, the job came unexpectedly open, and I spent 24 hours trying to help them find somebody to do it, because I was not going back out there. No more bus rides and dragging the field and practices. And after about Friday night, I realized I was going to do it. And I went out there Monday, and we took over. We were with 12 wins and 11 losses, and I told the kids, look, I'll help you. It's your fundamentals. We'll have some fun here these last 6 weeks. Well, 6 weeks became 8 weeks. We won our last league game on a walk-off grand slam against Banning to qualify us as the 8th team in the Open Division. And first round, we went to Carson, number 1, we knocked them off. We went to number 4, LA Valley Poly, we knocked them off. And we ended up losing the championship game. And that group of girls gave me the greatest end of the career, and I thank them. And this is the best part, right here. Now that it's all over, the thing that I'm most proud of are the girls themselves. Okay? And I've been coaching girls long enough to know I'm not going to name any names because they'll yell at me, how come you left my name off? So I'm just going to give you some accomplishments. I've coached kids who've gone to become a doctor, college professor, business owner, nurse practitioner, numerous teachers, most of them here in San Pedro, coaches at different levels in high school, volunteer coaches at the pistol range. My wife has been to many of their baby showers. We've been to many of their weddings, and that's the best part. The championships are nice, the recognition's nice, but for a man who never had any sister or daughters, I've got about 350 of them, and for them, I'd like to thank them for that. Committee, thank you very much.
Wow, that was cool. All right. Moving speech by a softball